Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to the Anime Talk, the show where sometimes we're gonna cause some wars. Now, actually, realistically, this is gonna be a, I want to say, scary topic for me to handle by myself. It's not something that I've not wanted to do. I've wanted to do this for quite some time, and a recent incident made me want to do it even more. But it's a topic that I know will flip people out if I don't say it correctly. So I'm gonna try my best to mind my p's and q's with this. But today on the Anime Talk, if you haven't seen the title of it, we're talking about the anime community. Now, what I mean by this is, what am I talking about? Am I talking about the anime community as a whole? Am I talking about the bad, the good? I am talking about it as a whole. You know, as the years of anime has increased in popularity, we've seen an influx of forums and websites dedicated to anime. People will talk about it, people will debate about what's the favorite series, people will debate one another of which shonen is the best series. Why is One Piece the greatest anime of all time? Why is Bleach one of the worst animes of all time? People will go into these huge, huge arguments and debates that I look at them and I go, why? Why go so far? Now, I understand, proposing your love for a series. I get that. Like, there's plenty of series that I've defended meticulously. Like, School Days, for example. I've defended School Days as long as I can remember of watching the series and seeing people react to how much they hated the series. And one thing that's funny about it was I always told people, if you look at it at the criminal justice level, like, again, my major in college, you actually see School Days being a very realistic and kind of scary anime because these are stories that you do hear of things happening where, girls go crazy on their beloved ones or vice versa. That's why, people say, oh, it's unrealistic. Oh, this would never happen. No main character would go around sleeping with all these girls. It's happened before, people. That's the, I always say that. I always have to defend School Days, but it's something that I think is one of those defensive, comments, like one of those defending debate things that you'll have to do if you really care for a series. You'll have to then go and kind of go to bat for a series. Like, for example, One Piece. People will defend One Piece all day long, say, it's 700 something. Oh, excuse me, 700 something episodes. It's greatness. It does this and that right. It's a world building and all that crap. People defend it meticulously. They'll go into every little aspect of it, and if you're not ready for them, like if you go into it just saying I hate the show, I think it's garbage, people will jump down your throat. They will gouge your eyes out, essentially using words. They don't have to do it physically. They will use words, and they will hurt your feelings very fast. That is the anime community, and that's what I'm having a problem seeing in the anime community. You know, when I was for most people, I think there's a kind of concept that people don't understand. Anime's been around for a long time, and there are a lot of diehard fanboys and fangirls, of course, of anime that pretend like it's something brand new. Like, oh, I've seen so much anime, I've seen this much anime. It's like, have you really? Let's compare and contrast how much anime you've seen compared to how much I've seen in my lifetime. I'm not saying that I've seen more than other people, because there's plenty of people that I know have seen like 200, 300 more anime that I have seen, but I've seen quite a significant amount because I grew up during the time period of anime rising in the West. It what became out here. It was the 90s that we started seeing the influx of stuff like Gundam and Outlaw Star and Cowboy Bebop. That was my time period. I saw that, so I saw the rise of anime go up and up and up and up. And what's funny, and why I pointing this out specifically, is that I have, I think, a reasonable amount of knowledge behind anime. I've been nicknamed the anime encyclopedia by some people. Please don't call me that. I think it's kind of funny sometimes. It's kind of annoying also. But I've had people call me the anime encyclopedia because I have a decent amount of knowledge when it comes to anime. But I don't typically get into forums and debates because, when I was in, I think, middle school, when we started seeing the rise of, I think, forums about anime, what was funny about it was I noticed a trend already happening where people would flip out over things that were not seen. Like, for example, I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, Cowboy Bebop's better than Outlaw Star," or "Mobile Suit Gundam Wing is better than G Gundam." People would flip out. They would defend it nonstop. There would be 20, 30 pages of forum posts of people saying that this series is better. Blah 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 blah. Respect, people. Respect. 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 It's the thing of, you might think you know everything about a series. You might go into these giant forums and proclaim your knowledge of infinite wisdom of anime. But be warned that really, is that such a great accomplishment? Okay, so you've seen One Piece. We'll go with that, for example. You are a huge diehard One Piece fan. What else have you seen? Have you seen Gurren Lagann? Have you seen Fooly Cooly? Have you gone back into the past? Have you seen Outlaw Star, Tenchi Muyo, Oh My Goddess? Have you seen 11 Eyes? Have you seen Steins Gate? You know, I noticed a trend of people defending one particular series of the shonen world. And don't get me wrong, I know shonen was a big thing. It came out and really got anime popular in the West. You know, Death Note, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto. Those series became popular and thus kind of effectively made anime more popular in the West. But what was funny is that that is not the only anime that exists. Shonens are big series. Don't get me wrong, they are big series. But you know, with the rise of all these people talking about My Hero Academia, you know, everyone going into this huge debate of, oh, it's better than better than One Punch Man. It's greater than this and that. Why? What? You know, I wrote this in a comment. I said, really, you know, you could compare and contrast anime. You can do that. You could say, oh, One Punch Man is better than Boku no Hero Academia, or you could say vice versa. You can do that. But realistically, they're not the same show. You know, to me, if you, for example, take Evangelion, the old series, and then Evangelion, the reboot, you can compare and contrast those and say which one's better because realistically, those are the same story. They're just done differently. You know, one's more modern, one's old style, one is a refresh of the series, one was the original. You can go into that whole debate battle. You can do that. But a series that is One Punch Man versus Boku no Hero Academia, you know, that doesn't make sense to me. That really does. Okay, both of them are about action. I get that. Both of them have like superhero concepts and all that. I get that too. But they're not the same story. One is about a character that is super powerful. One's about a kid that's not even powerful yet. Yeah, maybe in the manga he becomes more powerful as the series progresses, but he's not there yet, people. You know, that doesn't make sense. How can you compare and contrast those two? You know, similar Steins Gate and Real Life, for example, or ReZero, excuse me, not Real Life. Those are very similar. They're even made by the same studio, but those two are still different. One is about time leaping because of using scientific means. One is about a kind of time leap, not by science but by fantasy based elements. That right there is the big convergence, the big difference of having a series change so drastically. You cannot compare and contrast those two. You might say, okay, you're feel free to say that Steins Gate is similar to ReZero, or ReZero takes a lot of things from Steins Gate. You could do that. That's fine because they have similarities. Even One Punch Man, excuse me, and Boku no Hero Academia. You can take those and go, well, you know, this does heroes, this does heroes. But they are two different entities. They are not the same show. You know, to me, you cannot compare One Piece, for example, with Bleach. Yeah, they're both shonens, I get that. But they're not the same story. They're not the same concept. They are not the same universe. They are two different entities. You cannot have arguments about things like that. To me, does not make sense. You could say which one you like better. That's fine. That, you know, honestly, you can go at war each other all day long about going, One Punch Man's better, One Piece is better, Bleach is better, Naruto's better. You could do that. That's different because that's the sense of you defending what your favorite anime is, and that's completely fine, or manga in this case. But comparing and contrasting and saying, oh, you know, this series is better because it does everything right compared to it, like, what are you basing your comments on? What are you basing your factoids on? You're just saying troll bait. You know you're pissing people off, and you know people who are easily pissed off will then go, type, they'll slam on the keyboard, and I would make the noise, but I have a feeling that it would actually make my video recorder stop, and I won't do that. But they'll be slamming down the keyboards. You're so wrong. It just becomes this thing. You know, I feel like I'm kind of going away from what I wanted to originally do this for, but I have to get that on my chest. The anime community is what I want to say a kind of disjointed community. You know, I feel that on one spectrum you have the very respectable people, like the people I talk to on YouTube all the time. You know, Simply Rose, Habit, Memory, you know, Brago, all those people. I'll put them in the link description box below because I mentioned their names specifically, but all those people, Travis, my other friend, Jester, who does the Otaku A-Team, all the people that I mentioned, you know, we are on the spectrum of friendship. We respect one another. We say that, you know, we might dislike or like a series. That's respect. We show each other respect. You know, hey, your series is good. I like my series better, but I respect that you like that one better than me because you just, you know, you have that affinity for it. You love that series more. That's respect. Then you have the opposite spectrum, the groups of people that constantly are bickering and you know, writing down long quotations of just hate towards one another. That is not right. That's segregation, okay? You do not need to have that in the anime community. I'm not saying that the anime community will ever be something that is brought together. You will never have that. Because honest to God, there are people that are very opinionated in this world that have just very immature aspects on life. They have immature aspects on everything. You'll never have the community going together. But what I want to say is if you're one of those people that really is easily bent or easily pissed off by certain comments, take a breather and go, what do I gain out of bashing this other kid who's now arguing with me? I'm actually more so appealing to the people that use a logical sense of thought process, because I hate to say this. There are some people that write in my comments that I could tell who is using, correct thought process, who's not. And I'm not going to name names, and I'm not going to say who on what videos. Some of them aren't even on the videos like anything recently. Some of them were way, way back when. And I mean, like, also going back to like when I first started. But, use an open mind when you're talking about things. Use an open mind when you realize that, hey, you know what? My series is awesome. Your series is awesome. Maybe I don't like it as much as yours, or maybe you like it more than I do. And but respect one another. How hard is that, folks? How hard is it to not write a stupid comment that's 5 letters word, go F yourself or go screw yourself? Why do you need to do that? Why does the anime community have to be so hell-bent on bashing one another for their ideals and opinions? It's ironic to me because anime is something already that kind of segregates us from the modern day culture, if you think about it. People look at anime fans and people that watch anime as weirdos already to begin with. I hate to say it, we are looked at like that. If you talk to someone who does not watch anime, the first thing that pops in your head, is all those shows that have like the fan service and the schoolgirls in school outfits. That is the first thing that people come. I mean, even TV shows make fun of us. Why already are you not already segregated now by one community? Why are you making yourself even more segregated? It's like essentially taking one community, separating into 2 parts, and then having those 2 parts then separate to 20 parts. You don't need to do that. I'm going out on a limb and saying, you know what, hey guys and girls, if you're one of these people that constantly bickers about stupid things on the forums and our websites, on YouTube videos and stuff like that in the comment sections, take a breath, stop, and go, hey, you know what? I know I'm right. I know it sounds kind of, self-gratuitous, and, it might sound like kind of you're patting yourself on the back a little too much, but go, you know what? I am right. I know I'm right. I'm not gonna bother arguing against this guy who clearly is immature, because in the end, if you do that, that makes you just as immature. If you cannot stop yourself from going, you know what? I'm going to put flame bait here too. I'm going to start typing my long essay of how much I hate this guy because he did this and that and all that crap. Luckily, I don't have people on my comments board to do that. I mean, thank God, so far I've not really had to separate anyone on my comments so far. But if you're one of those people, stop and take a breather. Don't get me wrong. People that write long comments, like I have a few people that I know they're going to know who they are when I say this. They write really long, detailed conversations. I respect that you have opinions on stuff. I actually go, well, you know what? Okay, that's cool. You have an opinion. I respect it as long as you keep it in a civil way. You could say you hate a show. That's perfectly fine. I will never get pissed off at that. If you insult my intelligence, if you insult someone else, different story. I will then get pissed off at that. But there are ways of handling other people. You do not need to make all these arguments and make all these forum posts and all these giant videos of how much you hate someone or how much you dislike. It's not worth it, and it just makes it more of a rift in the anime community. The anime community should be a lot closer than it is, unfortunately. It's not. That's the thing about it. It's not as close as people. I wish I could make that obvious, that we could band together stronger. We could have people that make anime even cooler to be, to watch certain shows and to respect that, hey, okay, I don't like One Punch Man, but you like One Punch Man. You can respect that because anime is cool. It should be the thing that brings us all together, that we're watching something already against the norms of society, that, people don't still see. Listen, anime might be popular nowadays, folks, but guess what? It's still not hugely popular. It's still something that is growing in popularity, it's growing in trends, but it's not there yet. And I'll be honest with you, with constant bickering and constant wars against one another, will you ever see it getting really popular? We might, but at the same time, it's not gonna be fun to make a video on a review or something, and then see someone go, you're an idiot, go die or something like that. That's not gonna be fun. That's not gonna be enjoyable. That's not pleasant, and also it's just rude and stupid. All right, So what is the whole point of this video? The point of this video, and I'm getting at like just a kind of simplified version of this, is I would love the anime community to be something greater than it is right now. But right now, as it stands, I think that there are too many sides of people that take sides with things. Like, you know, people that hate anime and then, you know, talk like if they love one series but they hate everything else. There's too many different sides of things. Everyone come together and go, hey, you know what? Respect. Respect one another's opinions. It's like anything else in this world. You might like sports, someone else hates sports. You might love chocolate pudding, someone might hate chocolate pudding. I don't know, I just thought something right off the top of my head. But respect. Respect. That's all I'm asking for, everyone, folks. Luckily, thankfully, all my subscribers, for the most part, are very respectful. I hope that continues. You know, like I always say, if you ever see a comment that you know feels offensive to you on my comments boards, feel free to tell me. I'll immediately delete that comment because I'm not going to stand for anyone. I'm not going to leave them in the comments below that of people that bash one another, because that's not, to me, that's annoying. That really is, and it's disrespectful. And you know what? Anime community, band together, become stronger, because I think it'd be really cool to have a conversation with 100 people, not have to worry about 10 or 20 of them being like, oh, you're an idiot every 2 seconds. That, you know, that ideally would happen, but will it happen? Well, who knows? You know, hopefully one day I think it will happen, but like I said, I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell. I can't predict the future. Well, whatever. Anyways, that's it for this anime talk. I know it's going on for a long time, but I really had to get this off my chest, and I really hope that you guys, it kind of resonates with you guys. I hope you think about it a little bit, and you know, maybe realize, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm one of those people that does that. Maybe, you know, step back and take breathers and realize, you know what? I'll let that guy win that argument. It's not really worth it. I know I'm technically the winner in this. You know that. Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. It's saying you're a winner even if you're not a winner. Because bottom line, if you think in your head that you're a winner and you think strongly enough, then guess what? You are. That's all that matters. And you know what? I am full for that, because you do not need to stoop to everyone's level to I think to kind of aggregate things more. You don't need to do that. It's like real life. You know, if someone comes to you with a hateful words and stuff like that, you could just completely diss them. And you know what? A lot of times that actually stops and prevents things from happening down the road, because they realize, you know what, this is not going to work on that person. Let me go move on to someone else. And that's unfortunate that it's going to go to that, but you know, eventually that guy will either grow up or that girl will grow up and realize, you know what? Yeah, that's not worth it. Makes sense, right? I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this topic. Please feel free to put in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I really hope most people agree with what I said. But anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great week, all right? Bye-bye.